Welcome back, Global War in 1939. We are moving on to the Germans' sixth turn, and yes, the sixth round of the game. So let's take a look at our purchase options here. Now, it is round six, so we do unlock two new units. We have now the Tiger tank, which is our most advanced. We're only allowed to build one per turn. It costs 8, so pretty expensive, but it attacks and defends at 9. So out of all the land units in the game, the Tiger tank is probably the strongest, but still pretty expensive. And we're, of course, unlocking our heavy bombers, so we're getting 2 of those. That's the max that we're allowed to have, and they're 14 each. And they operate just like medium bombers, but you get 1 extra die. So on attacks, you get 3 dice at 4 as opposed to 2. So getting 2 of those and adding them in any battle, 6 extra dice, is pretty devastating. And then, so for 2 heavy bombers, 1 Tiger tank, then we're going to get our advanced infantry, 7 more regular infantry. The Allies did a bombing raid on their last turn and bombed Paris. So now that's got 5 points of damage. So we're going to repair that for 5. And then we're going to get 6 subs for 5 each. And then, of course, our allies are producing for us as well. So Romania is going to build 2 infantry. Hungary, Finland are going to get an infantry. And then Bulgaria, we're going to build a self-propelled artillery for 4. And we're allowed 3 of these, I believe. So that should all work very well. So this is a total of 95. And then before I forget, this is the beginning of Germany's turn. So that Italian transport that Germany used goes back to Italian. So, but luckily for us, the Italians did build 2 brand new transports on their turn. So we may use those in the Kriegsmarine. In fact, we probably are. So we're just going to swap them out now. So these 2 transports that were just built by the Italians on their turn, for the rest of this round, they're essentially German now. So we've used this ability. It's our 3rd time now. Basically, as long as Italy builds brand new transports, then the Germans can use them on their follow-up turn. It has to be the exact, like it has to be the turn following. And then the Germans can use them right away as if they were theirs, and then they'll convert back on the next German turn, right? But yeah, and it could be the we can use them in the non-combat phase, combat phase. They're ours. Okay, but in our example here, we're going to use them in the non-combat. As for battles, we got 5 battles to declare, all in Soviet Union. So we're going into Pskov. Smolensk is just a walk-in. Western Russia. Moscow, of course. We need to take out their capital. And this territory just west of Stalingrad. Now, because we're taking out Moscow, Sweden is actually eligible to become a pro-Axis country. So in order to be, for them to flip to pro-Axis, you need to own all of Finland. So the 3 territories in Finland, the 2 territories in Norway, and Moscow. So as long as you hold all 6 of those, which we will, then Sweden becomes pro-Axis, and then you can activate it, getting all their forces. Their nation is actually pretty decent. They get an artillery, 5 infantry for their army. But their navy, you get a coastal sub, a destroyer, and then 2 coastal battleships, which, you know, they're not the greatest, but the coastal battleships are a really good shield. They attack and defend at 5, but they absorb a hit. And if you got 2 of them, and you don't really care about having them around in part of your main navy, well, if you don't mind them being removed from the game, then you can absorb 4 hits and protecting your main navy, right? So they're pretty decent. All right, so we got our 5 battles declared. How are we going to implement all this? Give me a second to figure that out. Okay, I think we got our battle plans figured out, and we're going to add one more battle to this. Stalingrad is going to cause us problems, so we're going to bomb it with 2 bombers this time, not 4. Because I want to get rid of its production, but I don't want to lose a bomber, so we're only going to go in with 2, which, yes, that gives us less ability to inflict damage, but it's a minor factor. You can only have up to 10 anyways. 2 bombers have the potential of getting up to 12. And then, but that only gives them 2 dice. If we go in with all 4, yeah, we'll definitely overkill it. But then we run the risk of losing one of our bombers, and we don't want to do that. And there's no point of bombing Moscow because I'm just going to attack it. Novosibirsk is too far away, and really, for a bombing raid, this is the only real target within our range. And then everything else would be non-combat. So, let's take a look. So, for Smolensk, it's just a walk-in. So, we're going to take 1 infantry from our 6th Army and just walk in, capture that. In Moscow, we're going to bring in 2 medium tanks, an artillery, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. And then we're also going to bring in 2 Mark IVs from Belarusia. It can easily swing through 2 spaces. And that will fight Moscow. And then for this territory here, we're going to bring in 2 tank destroyers, medium tank, mech, artillery, 2 heavy artillery, 8 infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry, and that's all coming from Olar Kursk in the main battle group, but battle group 6. We're also going to add another tank destroyer, an infantry, artillery mech from eastern Ukraine, 2 advanced mechs, and they're pulling 2 artillery from western Ukraine. So all this is going into this one territory here. So I'm not really worried about counterattacking. And then for Pskov, we're going to bring in an advanced infantry, mech, artillery, infantry from East Poland is going in, and then the 2 medium tanks from Belarusia. And they're only facing it on 1 artillery. And then the rest of the 6th Army is going into Western Russia. So his main army right now is in Leningrad, but they're trying to play cat and mouse, and they put up a blocker. Otherwise, if that blocker wasn't there, I would have rushed in with all the tanks and mechs, leaving the infantry behind just to kill that army. But good job on him for putting up blockers, preventing that. By him retaking Leningrad, it also prevents Spain from joining, because for Spain to join, you need 2 cities and France, or not France, Paris. You need Paris and then 2 any Russian cities. By him capturing Leningrad, it prevented that, which prevents Spain from becoming pro-Axis. So we need to capture that, or Stalingrad. Doesn't really matter as long as we still hold Moscow. All right, so I think we got everything planned out. 1 battle's already done. Let's conduct the rest. So let's do the bombing raid first. Just get that out of the way. So I got 2 bombers. So that gives him 2 dice to roll. So this is his AA fire against my 2 bombers in Stalingrad. 4 and a 9. Perfect. 4 and a 9. Can we get a little closer? Yeah. All right, 4 and a 9. Perfect. They survive. So we get 2 D6s. 4, 7. All right, that's not too bad. That still blocks him out from being able to produce there unless he spends money to repair the damage. So next Russian turn, I'm not going to have to worry about new units showing up. This will force him to build everything in Novosibirsk. The bombers after this we'll figure out in the non-combat phase. So let's go into the territory just next to Stalingrad. So this is not about... and you see, we just got a bunch of stuff. So we got 3 at 7. He's only got 1 infantry defending. 4, 9, 10. We got our hit. He returns with a 6. Excellent. He's dead. And we move on. All right, this is going to be the Pskov battle. Again, shouldn't be all that difficult. All right, 1 at 2. Got a 5. 3 at 3. I'll miss. Interesting. 2 at 6. 1, 3. Perfect. He returns with a 5. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so this is going to be the Western Russian battle. I'm not going to bring over their units. There's 4 Mark IV, 6 medium tanks, 4 advanced mechs, 4 artillery, 4 advanced infantry, and another 8 regular infantry. So let's go do the Mark IVs at 7, 4 of them. 7, 6, 11, 12. So we got our hits. He returns with a 2. So we lose a guy. Okay. All right, so this is now for Moscow. So he left 1 infantry behind. He took out the A gun. We're not going to planes anyways, but there's only 1 infantry and a fort. So all of our guys get reduced by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 at 1. All missed, of course. 2 at 2. 3, 2. Perfect. Got our hit. He returns. Now, the fort gives him a +1, plus the fort gives him 2 dice at all at 5. 2, 5, 12. So we lose 2 guys. All right. Pretty costly, actually. And then he loses everything. So then the airbase that's there, the major factory that's there in Moscow, it all gets destroyed. So there's nothing left facility-wise that we can use. So that's all the battles, a bunch of small ones. But now, what happens now, his factor or his capital is now gone. So the $49 he had in his bank, Germany now collects. So that gets added to our income with whatever we produce. Now, if you can tell, he definitely does have a counter to this. He can recapture this. But as soon as this falls, he loses all of his money. His capital gets sent back to Novosibirsk. Okay? So now that's his new capital. Now, what ends up happening, he can counter this, and I have no doubt he can recapture it. That's fine. But then whatever he counters with to kill this, my main army's right here. I'll just go and counter him again and recapture it. So if he comes in and captures this, his capital will get sent back to Moscow. He'll collect whatever money, and once it's recaptured, then all that money doesn't go back to the Germans, but the second time you lose your capital, the money goes to the bank. So you lose it again. So by him countering it, he'll lose all this money a second time in a row. So that's 2 turns of no production. So there's an incentive for him not to come in here. But there is also an incentive for him to come in here to prevent me from getting a city, preventing Spain from joining. So there's lots of reasons for him to and not to attack. Which one he chooses, that's up to him. So you can see losing your capital is a big deal. It actually hurts you a lot because then you miss out 1 full turn of production. So it's pretty bad. Now, for our point of view, yes, it's a capital. Now it's just a regular city, but it gives us a $3 bonus plus the money that the territory generates. So taking on Moscow, for our point of view, is worth $7. So it's definitely well worth it. Plus the 49 that we just collected, right? All right, so that's it for our attacks. Pretty further deep into Moscow. Really is just, and we still own up north, so really all is left are the Leningrad, Stalingrad, clean up this area up here, which is another 6 territories that we need to clean up, and then come down to the Caucasus, take those 2 territories out. Still a little bit of work, and his main army is now trapped. So even if it tries to escape out here, not all of his units can move 2 spaces. He's got heavy artillery, a bunch of infantry that can only go to the Novgorod. So he can either stay and fight or defend, move up to Viipuri, move to Krylia or in Novgorod, and leave a blocker behind. So Novgorod is probably a bad idea, but we'll see what he does. Is he going to stay and hold his ground, or are we going to have to start chasing him around the map? And if he goes up into Scandinavia, well, you can only go so far. Yeah, you can stay 1 step ahead, get all the way to Oslo in multiple turns, which would be super a pain. But eventually, he can only go so far. So eventually, he will have to fight. And the more he goes along, the more smaller battles that he has to do with the potential of weakening his army. So by the time our main army catches up to him, hopefully he'll be weaker than what he is. We'll see what he decides to do. All right, so now for the non-combat phase. The 2 bombers that were did the bombing raid, so still got to move them to 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to move to Yugoslavia. The other 2 bombers that didn't do anything are also going to go to Yugoslavia. So for this region, what are we doing here? We got those 2 transports. We definitely got to use them. So both transports are going to go down to 47. 1 transport's going to grab the man artillery in Sicily, and we're going to drop them off in Transjordan. The other transport is going to grab the infantry in Marseille, the medium tank in Turin in Italy, and we're going to drop them also off in Transjordan. And then our 2 air transports in Romania, they're going to grab 2 infantry there. And we got a movement of 6 because of the air base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then land in Cairo. So they're going to drop 2 more infantry off. And they're going to land here. Up here, we got a bunch of territory that we do need to cover off. Otherwise, we're going to get partisans. We got 3 territories that are empty, 4 that are empty. Oh my goodness gracious! What did we do? What did we do? All right. All right. So we got this tank here. It's a Mark 5. Going to go up to Belarusia. We got a mech in Bessarabia. It's going to go to eastern Ukraine. Infantry from Romania is going to go to Bessarabia. Infantry from Romania is going to go to Ukraine, and then the tank in Romania is going to go up to Olar-Kursk. So that covers everything off. The 2 infantry in Hungary is going to go up to Poland. And then this last tank here, where is he going to go? We also got to think about the Allies coming into Paris. So we need to start building units, getting units ready for that. I have no idea if they're planning a D-Day, but if they are, we need to be ready. So we have 1 tank left. Where's he going to go? He's going to go up to here as well, just to give us some more firepower. In Paris, we have 2 infantry in Paris. They're going to go to Reims. That damage is now done. And the mech in Reims is going to jump into Paris. All right, so that's it for moves. Now we just got unit placement. So our allies, they're producing their own guys for us. So let's put them on the map now. Oh, no, we're not done. We are not done. Unit placement. Couple more moves in the non-combat phase. So now the tank in this territory in Finland is going to swing down here and activate all of Sweden. So now Sweden joins the cause. This airborne is going to go into Narvak, and the infantry in Viipuri is going to go up 1 to cover him off, and then the Helsinki infantry is going to go into Viipuri. All right. All right, now we're done. We activated a new country, captured multiple new territories in the Soviet Union, took out their capital, reinforced the Germans down in Africa. All right, so we're good to go now. Now unit placement. So he goes here. 2 guys here. Hungary, Helsinki. Okay. So the 2 heavy bombers, they're going to go into Moscow. Three of the subs that we're building are going to get built into Stettin. The other 3 subs are going to get built in Western Germany. The tire tank is going into Western Germany. The advanced infantry is going into Western Germany. So that's 5. We're going to add 3 guys to Paris. 2 guys to Romania. Another guy into Helsinki. And then 1 more guy in Hungary. Yes. So I think that is it for this bomb. We're still in Paris. Okay, so now income. Okay, so for income, we should have 85 in territories. We got 16 in bonuses. And because now we got Moscow, and we still got a guy in Cairo, so it gives us 3 each, plus the 2 regular $5 bonuses we've been getting all game. So it puts us up to 101. And then the 49 we captured off the Russians. So definitely a lot of income for next turn, but now 49 is just a one-time payout. We won't have that every round. But that is it for the Germans on round 6. Moving on to the Japanese. Well, thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day.